Hello loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. I'm finally getting to the Q&A that I posted in the community section of YouTube. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. If I do not answer your question in this video, I probably responded to you in that same comment. It was just a lot easier to do some in the video and some actually in text. Disclaimer, if I mess up your name or butcher the crap out of it, I'm so sorry. I was going through the names and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so bad. So I do apologize in advance. Getting right into the video, our first question comes from Kristen Moody. And she asks, worst client experience? How do you fire a client? And would you recommend renting a booth or working from home? So for the first part, my worst client experience has to go to one specific person. Absolutely nothing that I did, created, drew, placed on her nail would please her. Never. And on top of that, she was really picky when it came down to the price that I was giving her. So all of the above, it was just terrible. She was just a negative energy. She didn't want to pay the price, and on top of that, she was like super picky. That's probably like everybody's worst fear, is to have a client like that, and I just got the whole package. So she definitely set me up for success from the get-go. She was like at the beginning of my nail career, so now I'm like really good at handling situations like this. So how do you fire a client? I actually fired her, and she was probably my first person that I fired. So I definitely recommend you state facts. So for example, if it is something along the lines of they're late all the time or they cancel last minute all the time and they're affecting your money, state that. So I would definitely go about this in the form of, hey, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let you go as a client. It's been an ongoing issue, you being late and canceling last minute all the time. Unfortunately, this does affect my income, and I cannot keep scheduling you out for appointments and losing out on money when you can't come in. I'm so sorry for this. I hope you understand. It's all business, no hard feelings, yada, yada, yada. For the most part, we all have cancellation policies on our pages. I hope you do too. So they should be familiar with that. And if they're not, go ahead and send them that so they understand if they argue about it. I have had clients do that where they argue back. So I had one specific one that she did get mad at me. And I truly felt bad because I was doing her nails for a good 2 years, but it just got to the point where she just could not keep an appointment. And I'm all about my money, and if you're gonna mess with my money, I'm gonna have an issue. Like, we're all in this. Obviously, I love doing nails, but we all also need to support our family. So because she was messing with the money aspect of my career, I was like, absolutely not. And she did get upset, and I did, end up giving her examples. If I come into work and you end up canceling, that means I don't have anybody in my chair, which means I'm not getting paid. Put yourself in my shoes and think about it as you going to work and then them just telling you you're not getting paid. You're gonna be pretty upset about it. So always try to give them good reasoning behind it, and also try to relate to them. Like, don't be an a-hole about it and just straight up be like, you're trash, I can't stand you, I can't do your nails anymore. Would you recommend renting a booth or working out of your house? Definitely in my state, I don't know how it is everywhere else, booth rent. It is highly illegal here in the state of Florida to work out of your home, and there are terrible repercussions if you do work out of your home and they catch you. You can have one hater, and if they tell on you, you're done. I definitely would recommend you go the legal and correct way. So always do your research and kind of see how it's like in your area, and then go based off of that. All right, on to the next. Mariah Hicks asks, what are your personal struggles / strengths as a nail tech? My struggles are my time. I believe seeing everybody else do sets in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, in an hour freaks me out, and it kind of pisses me off if we're being honest. It takes me at least an hour and a half to 2 hours depending on what I'm doing, and I just can't get that down. I cut back certain areas in the process, and for whatever reason I'm still taking a good second. I am charging accordingly, so it doesn't really affect me, I guess I would say. I definitely prefer quality over time. My strengths as a nail tech, I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit, and don't take it the wrong way, but I'm really good at like breaking down a set of nails and recreating it down to the T. So I definitely think that's gonna be my strength, and like everything nail art, I love doing nail art, so I'm like super passionate about that. I definitely think that's my biggest strength. What are your goals for the future? I want to be an educator. That's definitely my ultimate goal, to teach all of you guys and to teach in person as well, maybe do classes and stuff. I actually got an opportunity not that long ago to work with Not Polished and their educator program. So I'm starting on that, and pray for me, you guys. Fingers crossed that everything goes good and soon I can be hosting classes for you guys. What are the pros and cons of being a nail tech / salon owner? So for the nail tech aspect of it, the pros and cons. The pros will have to be, it's very rewarding seeing somebody so excited about their nails that you created for them. And we definitely make pretty good money if we price our stuff right. So I think those are the pros. The cons of being a nail tech, if you don't properly care for yourself, you will feel it. And I am one to tell you that my body aches. We sit in the same position, and if you don't care for your health, your posture, if you're not exercising, if you're not doing all that stuff to care for your body, it's gonna feel the pain. And I actually go to the chiropractor currently 3 times a week because my back is so messed up, and I got in a car accident, so that didn't help any. So I highly recommend you guys be careful and stretch in between clients. On the salon owner aspect of it, the pros definitely has to be that you're fully 100% your own boss, and you get to do things your certain way, the way you want it to be. The cons is that you are in charge of everything and anything. That being said, if whether it's good, you get praised for it, it falls back on you. And if it's negative feedback, bad reviews, if somebody messes somebody's nails up, that falls back on you. You gotta pick up their slack. So that's definitely something to think about before you think about opening a salon. Victoria asks, how long did it take you to perfect your prep? Did you ever struggle with lifting? And what are your tips on shaping? To perfect my prep, I think I got the steps down fairly quickly. Now, as far as lifting goes, that's kind of a hit or miss. I have clients that have 0 lifting, and I have clients that still have lifting. So it definitely doesn't all have to do in your prep. It sometimes can be what the client does for a living. You'll come across those clients that do mechanical work or they clean for a living. And what we don't know, and if they don't disclose that to us, is a lot of those chemicals can break down the product and cause lifting. If they are picking at their nails, that causes lifting. I pick sometimes and my nails will start lifting, and then I get pissed off at myself. So always take that in mind. Tips on shaping, just practice. Keep your hand file straight if you're trying to do straight. I'm going to be doing an in-depth video on shaping, so stay tuned for that. DGAH, Diet. She asks, how did you become successful with your nail career? I have pushed myself extremely hard to get to where I am. I definitely pride myself in practicing a ton. I think that's the key for you getting where you want to be. If you really push yourself to perfect what you're working towards, it's going to show and people are going to recognize that. I do highly recommend you guys continue to practice. Never stop learning and always stay up with trends. It's going to be one of the things that's going to help you guys the most. Desiree Santeles, when you started doing nails, were you charging for your services before you got certified or licensed? I actually did my own nails to begin with. Then I went to school and I got immediately into a salon So absolutely not. Depending on your state, it is definitely illegal to charge for services when you're not licensed under that category. So I definitely recommend you guys, I keep saying this, do your research before you go out and do something. You definitely don't want it to cause any negativity in your life. So always be careful whenever you're trying to do stuff like that. Rachel Wisely, will you ever teach a class or course? I would love to learn from you. Thank you, girl. Keep watching my videos. You will learn if you keep practicing. I hope, like I said, I got an opportunity with Not Polish, and I hope soon I will be one of their educators, and I hope I start being able to teach you guys actually in person. It's such a blessing, and I'm so excited for this new journey. Shara Smoot, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. What is the best nail glue to use in your opinion? There's a lot of them. Nail glue is nail glue. I'm obsessed with Tammy Taylor Tip and Repair glue, and I also use Young Nails brush on glue as well. Those are my top two that I go to. Liliana Hernandez, how did you learn to do nails without doing classes, and when did you start? I've always been really artsy, so growing up, I think I did my sister's nails like once or twice. They looked terrible, but I thought it was really good. And then once I moved out, I definitely started doing my own just to save a little bit of money. And I started getting better and better at it. Honestly, at the time, I didn't really watch videos or anything like that. I kind of just winged it and hoped for the best. And now there's like so many amazing platforms that you can tune into and learn from them. So I highly recommend use your resources. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anything that has nail related stuff. You guys should definitely look at those stuff. I started actually practicing nails maybe 5 years ago-ish, maybe 4. That's when I started doing my own nails. Alina Alvarez asks, how long did it take you to perfect your acrylic application, shaping, and nail art? Acrylic application, I would say all of them really about a year. I pushed myself a lot. I practiced a lot. I was in the salon even when I didn't have clients, and I honestly do that now too. So I continued to practice and practice until I was content with the shapes and all that stuff that I was doing. Nail art definitely takes a little bit longer. To this day, I'm still learning a ton of new techniques and stuff. So that's probably going on 3 years. I'm still learning all kinds of stuff, and I still don't think I'm that perfect. Mauricia Dene. I think it's funny how I keep saying the names like in a question. Like, am I saying that right? She asks, altogether, roughly, how much did it cost to open your nail shop and renovate it? Girl. I actually have a story on this on my channel. So altogether, without the actual building, but it is including our down payment, it was about $85,000 US. Did you have people who thought it was impossible or saw no point in you do it? Absolutely. There's always going to be those people that are like, no, you shouldn't do this. No, you shouldn't buy that. No, you shouldn't go through with this. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. That's a huge mistake, huge mistake. But we just ignored them and continued to do what we wanted to do. Did you have help funding? As far as opening the salon, we did get a loan to purchase the building. So we technically have a mortgage on the building, and then everything else was basically out of pocket. Addie Mubri, she asks in Spanish, ¿por qué vas al quiropráctico? ¿Tienes alguna enfermedad? So, tuve un accidente de carro hace como 4 meses, por ahí era en agosto. Entonces, desde ahí entonces tengo que ir al quiropráctico para que me alineen la espalda, y no me ayuda mucho que estoy sentada todo el día haciendo uñas y editando videos. So, no es necesariamente enfermedad, sino es por el accidente y también la postura en la que estoy sentada todo el día. Definitivamente nos tenemos que cuidar. YouTuber 101 asks, how to build a clientele after going to beauty school? Promote yourself, girl. Go hand out cards through the drive-thru, at the mall, at Walmart, in a club, at a bar, wherever you are, strike up a conversation and give your card out. And then definitely promote yourself on social media, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Those are all my go-tos that I'd like to promote myself on. How you balance being a mom and business owner. I just do it. My son is so easy too, so he definitely makes the craziness a lot easier. He's such a calm kid and he can entertain himself a lot, and it's sad to say that, but he definitely can. So whenever I'm editing videos, me and my husband are editing videos, he'll do his homework or he plays puzzles or like stuff like that. So he does go to school in the morning and then he goes to daycare after that. So I don't know, I kind of just make it work. We do a lot. I started getting up really early in the morning to be able to do a lot of the editing or voiceovers for my videos, just so it doesn't interfere with the time with him. But it's hard, it's really hard. We just get it done because we know it's rewarding in the end. Yamilet Cantu asks, how do you come up with designs in your head if someone just asks, or if someone just says to do a freestyle, meaning you can do whatever you'd like? This is one of those things that terrifies me because I might think something is beautiful and you might think it's hideous. So I like to still break it down to them, and so I'll ask multiple questions. Okay, so what color are you thinking? What color interests you? What colors are you not okay with having on your nails? Do you like crystals? Do you like glitter? So once you get to know them, it's definitely a lot easier and you can definitely wing it. I have a ton of clients that I'm definitely familiar with and it's so much easier. But when it comes to new clients, I basically interview them, interrogate them, and make them tell me what they like and what they don't like so I don't freak out. 80 Elise asks, how to avoid the feeling of needing to buy everything when it comes to nail products. I'm so cheap. I get made fun of all the time because I am so frugal. So my husband actually has to like force me to buy stuff. So I can't relate. I can't relate to having the urge to buy things. I like my money and I cannot splurge on stuff if I have no use for it. All right, Michelle Robinson asks, is it bad if I refill dip nails with acrylic because I don't feel like soaking off and redoing my entire nails? So a lot of people don't know this information, but I'm here to tell you that acrylic and dip powder are the exact same product. They advertise it differently just to kind of get us. And really the only difference between is that acrylic is applied with monomer and dip is applied with resin. You can use the dip powder with monomer and it's perfectly fine. The not polished products actually are dip powders and I use them with monomer and I never have issues. So definitely you can do that. You're good to go. Brianna Banks asks, what acrylic application brush would you recommend? It would definitely have to be the Koopa number 10 Kolinsky brush. I have it linked in a few of my videos if you're interested to checking it out. It is my OG. I've had that brush for like 2.5 years now. Still going strong. I've purchased some, used them for a few months, and they just are trash. So that's definitely my go-to, and I highly recommend that brush. Giselle Dimas, how long did it take you to build your clientele? I will say about a year. Since I got out of school, I went full force, practiced a ton, and then word of mouth kind of helped me a lot. I would say I was fully booked up within a year. Xiomara Fabres asked, what are the best brand crystals to use and how to price nails? So the best brand crystals, Swarovski crystals are my go-to. They are the shiniest, most perfect crystals ever. They are a bit on the pricier side, but definitely worth it. How to price nails, I highly recommend you do your research on the area you are located. You can kind of base your prices off of that and your skill level. It's really hard to kind of talk on that because we all have different cities that we live in. I know a lot of the time nail technicians in bigger cities like LA, New York, Miami, they're always like, I charge $300 for this set, but baby girl, I am here to tell you that I live in Pensacola, Florida, and if I charged $300 for a set, I would have no clients or maybe one. WS Love asks, you and your husband look so familiar. Are you from Sunnyside, Washington? Stalker much? I'm just kidding. We're both from Sunnyside, Washington. We were born and raised in that area. We relocated over here. I'm scared. But on a real note, do I know you? Britt asks, how do you shape your non-dominant hand and how do you prefer to book clients? Okay, I'm just gonna give you a little rundown. So how to shape your non-dominant hand. I'm gonna show you how I do this hand. So this is my dominant hand and I basically file like this, correct? File on both sides. I'm moving my right hand because that's my dominant hand. And then when I switch to this hand with my non-dominant hand, I will hold the file straight and then I move my hand. Move my hand and you're able to have more control of how you are filing. So take that in mind when you're filing. It works wonders. This is what I do all the time. And how I prefer to book clients, I like to do it myself. I've been wanting to switch over to a booking app, but I am so scared to let go of that control because if I mess up my schedule and if I do any type of screw up, I know it's all on me and I know that's all my responsibility. Kim asks, can you talk about pricing, how to make clients feel comfortable or be okay with you raising the price, and how you deal with difficult clients? Okay, so pricing, like I said, it kind of just depends on your area. And in order to make your client feel comfortable with you raising your prices, your work has to show it. So if I'm producing terrible nails and they are not cute, it's not going to justify me charging more money. So if you start off at the lower end of the price range, it's gonna grow and increase as you're growing and your skill level is increasing in your nail career. And in order to make them feel more comfortable, slowly raise it. Don't go from $20 sets to $50. That's gonna freak them out. So always do like little increases. I increased by 5s. So every time I wanted to do an increase, it was just $5, so it didn't hurt them as much. And how you deal with difficult clients, you just do it. You learn to adapt to different personalities. And if you want to be good at what you do and your career, you just kind of have to learn to adapt. And I think that's where a lot of technicians fail, is when they are not willing to look past people's personalities and their views and just do their nails. I have so many clients that I might not agree with on their views of life or their relationships or whatever it is. And you just kind of have to look past that. And this basically concludes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the community posts. I like to engage with you guys on there, so I'll be trying to do a lot more posts on there. Again, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.